We're live.
Welcome to another episode of Ask Willie Jean Business Show.
Welcome everybody.
Yeah, go for it, Willie. So maybe just tell everyone about our restream. So this is our third
one.
If I get it correctly, yeah.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. Our third restream. So things are starting to pick up and we're starting to get this right now. So hopefully wherever you are, you can watch on YouTube, on Facebook, and what you need to do, just go and like our page and set the notification. So you'll get you'll get notified once we go live. So yeah, Eugene, let's
yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for joining the show and another jam-packed episode with an amazing entrepreneur. So stay tuned to find out more about Andre Kruger that's joining us on the business show today. And then just a few home rules or house rules or whatever you want to call it. If you want to join our mastermind group, it's a private group where we share all the confidential information and you get a few tips and tricks. But go check it out, entrepreneurhq.co.za/mastermind. Links at the bottom. And then if you're just joining us live now, just pop in a comment. Where are you watching from? If you're in business, what type of business are you in? And if you've watched some of our previous shows, maybe what's one of your favorite shows? So myself and Willie will monitor the comments as well. So if you have any questions, just pop it in the comments. And in between the session and the questions, we'll get to it. And then very cool again, at the end of the show today, we have our 5 hot seat questions. If you have any recommendations for what should be in our hot seat, just pop it in the comments, get in touch with us. If you're part of our mastermind group, just message it on our private chat in our Telegram group. But otherwise than that, let's get into today's show. So super excited today. We've got Andre. And he's probably one of our bigger giants that we've had on the shows before. He's traveled around the world. He's had businesses in the UK. He stayed in Spain. Currently operating as a life coach, but was quite big into the digital marketing space and especially the e-commerce side. And without me spoiling it, let's get Andre on the show and find out from the horse's mouth. What's the saying, Willie?
The horse's mouth. Cool, guys. So before we jump into the show, Eugene, everyone that's wait until the end. We're just going to be making an announcement about the relaunch of our bootcamp. But yeah, stick to the end and we'll chat a bit about that. Yes, guys. So let's get Andre in. Without further ado.
Welcome,
Hello, guys.
Andre.
I hope when you said from the horse's mouth, you didn't literally mean the horse, okay?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for joining our show. And
pleasure,
as we
pleasure.
This is just a give back to the community, inspiring digital entrepreneurs, and that's what I love about your e-commerce background as well. So we believe the future of business has a big part of it is in the e-commerce space, and if your business isn't tech evolved or using tech to advance and scale, there's going to be a problem.
Yep.
So, but Andre, before we get into all the details, maybe just for all the viewers that don't know about you, brief introduction of just who is Andre.
Right. Born in South Africa too many years ago. I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. Started my first company when I was relatively young, and then I moved to and bought and sold and started other companies. During that period as well. And so in 2014, I moved to the UK. Sold a South African web development business that I had. Moved to the UK and got into e-commerce over there and built an e-commerce business, B2C business, and then started another e-commerce business,
like we do.
A development business, and then a digital marketing business. And they couldn't handle the weather in the UK. Oh man, it's the only thing that got me down. I loved my clients. I loved working with the people, and everything is works perfectly well there, you know. But just the weather, you can't get around that.
I mean, both myself and Eugene also stayed in the UK for quite a while, and I think that was one of the things that got us down. But yeah, it's got a lot of upsides to that as well. Tell me, Andre, we ask this to our giants on a weekly basis. When did you actually get that itch to start your own business?
Wow, that's a good question. I started selling stuff and making money on the side when I was about 13. So just doing stuff. So I suppose then, yeah, that would be it really. And maybe after reading books were a big part of my growing up and my youth. And reading books by Ogmandino and Think and Grow Rich and Napoleon Hill and the greatest salesman in the world, Ogmandino. So that always instills a bit of a desire in a people, I think, to maybe want to do their own thing. And then I came at the army, and I had my first job working for a boss, and that lasted 8 months, and I just couldn't do it after that. So, yeah, I've been kind of working for myself ever since. Yeah.
Just completely off topic, you mentioned reading books. What's your number one business book that you've ever read?
Think and Grow Rich.
Cool.
That's quite a big one for a lot of people. Think and Grow Rich. Robert Kiyosaki, The Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's also quite big.
Very good. Very
quite
good.
A greatest salesman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very good.
I think the kind of books, and why I like the books like Think and Grow Rich, it's because about mindset. There are a plethora of books out there that can help you with motivation and can help you with your processes and help you with your business and your life in whatever way. But if you don't get your mind right first, it doesn't matter the amount of however many investors you have and software automations you have and so on. It's not going to help your business.
It's interesting that you mention it.
That's why I think that the type of books that I enjoy are about personal development and how to get better at being you, so that you can get better in the business.
And that's a big part of what you're doing now with your coaching business. And we see it it's so often that we see it. The business is a reflection of the entrepreneur running their business. We've seen it multiple times. The people who scale the business, or the people that's got the entrepreneurs that's got the 50 or 100 million rand businesses versus the entrepreneurs that's got the 1, 2, 3, 4 million rand businesses sort of thing.
Yeah.
One of the biggest differentiating factors of all the guys that we deal with on a regular basis is just the way they think and their actions that they do and the risk tolerance and all that sort of stuff. And if you look at the differences between the businesses, all of those things, strategy, the risk factor, the team, the culture, all the differentiating factors of the business is a reflection of the entrepreneur running the business.
Yep.
So if you don't sort out yourself, it's just not going to happen. What is some of the stuff that you help entrepreneurs with from a mindset perspective in your coaching business? How do you deal with that part of the mindset, or helping someone to achieve that state?
Well, my elevator pitch, is I've got a few, but at this moment in time, I'm kind of niching into entrepreneurs and business owners with stress and anxiety. And how to eliminate stress and anxiety.
No,
we're cool. Nobody ever has stress and anxiety. No. And the funny thing is that, well, that's partly true, because people don't actually realize how much stress and anxiety they really do have until it's too late. So I deal with entrepreneurs and successful entrepreneurs and business people that want to get rid of stress and anxiety, because that has a immediate impact on your bottom line. Everything starts changing once you remove that stress and anxiety. And I'm dealing with people in the marketing and sales fields. So because
Okay.
that's my experience. So that's some of what we do. You know, we do a lot of stuff in a coaching session. And there's a 16-hour program that I take people through, which basically
Okay.
gives them a complete shift. It's a transformation that they go through in that 16-hour program.
Okay, cool. And I mean, I can also relate to that. I just feel that when I'm not stressed or anxious, the level of output that you get is just so much higher than when operating your state of mind is kind of at that anxiety level. What is
Absolutely.
like? What techniques can you give to our viewers to get rid of some of this anxiety and stress?
Okay, so one of the easiest things is to notice it. Okay, to become aware of it consciously.
Awareness
All right?
before change.
Yeah. So notice it, and also notice where you're feeling the emotional or the stress or the anxiety, because it is related to a feeling. Okay. So that's the first part. Become aware during the day of when you're noticing it. Then ask yourself the question, what is causing this? Okay. So what belief or limiting belief or what idea do I have in my mind that is actually causing me to feel this way? Okay. Now, the majority of the time with you get different types of anxiety, but a lot of the times it's anxiety for something that's actually going to happen in the future. Okay. Which is real stupid. It's pointless, because why worry about something now when it's not going to happen until. So there's a couple of ways of getting around that quite easily. But when you're feeling anxiety in the moment, there is one of the quickest ways of doing it is a process called EFT, and that's called emotional freedom technique. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Okay, so some people call it tapping as well.
Enlighten us.
Okay, I'm not going to take you through the whole thing here. You can go and Google it. There are hundreds of thousands of videos on YouTube who can show you how to get rid of EFT. I mean, how to get rid of anxiety using EFT. Yeah, it's called emotional freedom technique. And basically, what you do is you tap specific meridian points on your body. Okay, and that without going into too much detail, okay, that starts aligning your frequencies, okay, because everybody's made up of energy. The whole world, the whole universe is just energy, okay, vibrating at certain frequencies.
Yes.
So when we're feeling anxious, it means that something in either our past or our future is not vibrating very well. And when we do this freedom technique, okay, the energy starts vibrating correctly again, and it dissipates the feeling. Yeah. So that's something that you can do immediately, as soon as you start feeling anxious, or feeling stressful, or feeling demotivated, or feeling whatever, if you want to get rid of a feeling you don't dig, do that stuff. Okay.
Would it help if I tap myself in the face?
I'll tap.
It depends what you want to get out of it. I think, I'm not sure. I really don't know, but hey, give it a go. Each to their own.
So something that I'm curious about, I totally agree with you, and I've noticed that in my own life. So I noticed there's different parts of it. The first one is the awareness. The second part is starting to change it. I don't know what's the proper way of explaining it, but it's only when you actually apply it and you go through the motions of it that you see all the results of it. And of this particular change or emotional change or limiting beliefs or worrying about the future. And Joe Dispenza and Eckhart Tolle talks about it quite a bit. So Joe Dispenza is that breaking the habit of being yourself or something.
Yeah.
And, we can become aware of these things. And I see it with people that we coach as well, with some of the entrepreneurs. They become aware that, for example, they are blaming something outside of themselves for their situation, which takes their power away, which means they can't change anything about their situation. So accepting that you are the cause of this and then becoming aware of it. And I've noticed with guys that come for coaching, they're a lot more open for change and they go through the process a lot quicker than a lot of the other people. But then speaking just to general people, for example, at a braai or a family gathering or something like that, people are closed down to accepting this reality. And each time you discuss it, or each time I discuss it, with something, for example, well, do you know that the way that you acted actually caused this situation? It's not the other person. They are just reflecting back to you what you are displaying. And they completely shut down. So many people, and I actually read a thing a while ago that 85 or 90% of people move away from becoming aware. They don't want to become aware because this awareness creates this insecurity and this uncertainty and this, this emotion in your body. And as
so
much
another fascinating book, I think, from the late 50s or early 60s is something called Cybernetics by a guy called Maxwell Maltz. Now, basically, what you're explaining is the comfort zones, and us, when we want to try and break out of a comfort zone, we get uncomfortable. We feel uncomfortable, and we've got this thing in our head called the cybernetic system that stops us from getting new thoughts or appreciating, different stuff. And it's from our programming. It's who we are. It's who we've grown up from since birth, from conception. We've got all of these values and beliefs and cultures and everything that is programmed into us. Okay, that creates all of those reactions and creates those emotions and feelings when we start breaking out of our comfort zones.
What's that saying?
The trick is how to manage that cybernetic system, or how to manage your thoughts so that you can actually break out of that comfort zone without having too much pain. Because once you're out of it, you've grown.
Yep.
The only reason people don't want to break out of their comfort zone most of the time is they don't want to go through the pain of growth, because growth can be painful.
And I think Eugene, I don't know what saying you were referring to, but there's a saying which is, in order for you to start growing, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And if I can just speak for myself, where I really made a change in my life is where I actually came to the realization that I am where I am because of the sum total of the decisions that I have made in my life. And once I've gotten to that conclusion, things just started to become a lot easier to handle. If I can just speak from my experience, and I know yourself, Eugene, you also had like a pivotal
it's such
point
a beautiful
in your life.
statement. Yeah, it's a beautiful statement. And so with that, before the decision, comes other shit, comes your subconscious. So before you actually make a conscious decision to do something, you've got to play around with this whole subconscious crap that you've had all of your life. And once you start learning to manage your subconscious consciously, that decision-making process becomes so much easier. And then you can start growing and feeling a little bit uncomfortable. And the next time you grow, you feel less uncomfortable. The next time you grow, you feel less uncomfortable, because you start, we're getting really into it now, but you start vibrating, your whole being is vibrating at a higher frequency. And it becomes easier and easier and easier for us to grow as we vibrate at that higher frequency.
And I think, Eugene, you've mentioned it before, is you have to go through that cycle. If you've not gone through that cycle to see the actual, positive effect that it actually has on your life, you kind of just you have to walk through the waterfall. It's such a nice saying. It's just walk through the waterfall and everything just opens up. But this is interesting stuff.
To walk through the waterfall real quick and not get hot and get hardly wet, and not feel too much pain. So, that's the exciting part. You can do this quickly, and you don't have to go through a lot of pain, and you don't get too wet.
We don't have to figure it out again. Everyone figured it out 100 years ago, and now we're trying to figure it out again.
What's happening now is we're getting such a better understanding of how the brain works and how the world works and how the universe works, and down to quantum physics and quantum mechanics, and thoughts actually create. Thoughts are real. They create stuff.
Thoughts can be measured on an energy level as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we didn't know that 100 years ago. So when we were listening to, or 50 years ago, when we were reading Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, he says, have a burning desire. Well, how the fuck do you create a burning desire if you don't have one? Okay.
Exactly.
And I struggled with that for years, and I kept thinking, okay, this little feeling that I've got here, that's not a burning desire. That really doesn't sound like a burning desire to me. But now we know how to create a burning desire in somebody, and really create it so that it's their total focus and their intention and their purpose in life. And when you do that with somebody, and somebody does that with themselves, man, their lives change completely.
Wow. Yeah. Tell me, Andre.
Sorry, Billy, I mentioned something that you mentioned, Andre, about that we worry about the future. So they talk about as well that our stress comes from living in the future and thinking in the future, and anxiety comes from that. Sadness comes from living in the past.
Yeah.
But I want to talk a bit just quickly, because I know myself and Billy talk about this quite often, is letting go of the attachment of the future. Because that it makes it, or the thing that I struggled with is, how do you set goals for the future if you don't live in the future? And part of that is, Tony Robbins says the thing that screws us up the most in life is the picture in our head of how it was supposed to be. And then things don't work out how it was supposed to be. So it's letting go of the outcome, but still setting goals. Because we both struggle with that. We worry about 10 things that might happen. Only one of them is likely, but we stress about all 10. How do we come back into the present and let go of that, I don't know, the future, the attachment to the future, that whole process?
Okay. So I could discuss, and I could do this with at least an hour, but I'm going to give you the synopsis. Okay. There's a difference between goals and intentions. Okay. Goals are normally a longer term kind of thing. So we look at goals maybe a month. We look at monthly goals. Okay. Within that month, you've got certain tasks that you need to achieve to complete, to actually get that goal. All right. Then intentions are, what are you going to do on a daily basis to get those tasks done? So intentions are like little goals. Yeah. And you set those daily intentions in the morning, and there's a specific way of setting those intentions. Once you set those intentions in the morning, you leave them and you forget about them completely. Okay. Then you also do a goal setting exercise on a daily basis as well, which is different to the intent. They're similar exercises, but the goal setting is just for a month, or it's for your quarter, or it's for a year. Okay. You don't really you don't use subconscious goal setting practices or whatever you want to call them on more than a year, really. But it's getting those goals down to months. Okay. Break the tasks up into weeks, and then set intentions on a daily basis for those tasks. And then let the intentions go once you've done it. And then your day just flows. You manage to get through your tasks because your subconscious mind knows where it needs to go.
Yeah, it's almost, Eugene, like we speak often about that. What's that one thing that we have to do today? It's more or less like very similar to that intention that you set. So to reach whatever you wanna reach. So it's a
really,
very, very
possible. There's a thing that I watched now on Jay Shetty, or listen to a podcast on Spotify. I don't know how to pop it. Sorry, we're busy figuring out this tech. Pop it in the comments. So for any of the viewers, go and click on that link. There's I can't remember what's the lady's name that he interviewed, but it's about setting intentions. And it comes back to something that we've been aware of for quite some time, but is that living with integrity. And what does it mean to live with integrity? And part of it is setting your intentions. So I actually have a thing with my girlfriend where we set our intentions on a weekly basis and then on a daily basis, and we ask each other in the beginning of the week, what's your intentions for this week? What are you going to do to live in alignment with yourself? Because it's when we live outside of alignment that all this conflict and all this stuff comes up, and we agree to that we didn't want to do, but we do it to keep other people happy because of societal expectations, all that sort of stuff, and that pulls us out of alignment. So what's your intentions for this week? What's your intentions for today? And that's a good thing to just bring us back into the present.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the alignment one that you spoke about earlier, maybe another question that you got to ask yourself is, how am I going to notice that I'm out of alignment?
Yeah. How do you do?
Well, no, I don't ask the question because I'm hardly ever out of alignment, so it doesn't matter.
I point to come back to.
Yeah, so you got to notice it. You've got to become aware of it consciously so that you can fix it, because otherwise it doesn't get fixed.
It almost feels to me if you can't get this awareness thing right, then the rest is just null and void. So
you've got to be aware of who you are, and how you are reacting to the world around you, because the world around us isn't real. Okay. Noise, time. Okay, time isn't real either. Yeah. So the world around us is a construct. It's a representation of what we experience.
Yep.
Okay. So we get 500 billion bits of information coming into our 5 senses per second. That information goes through something called the reticular activation system in our head. Okay. And it gets filtered. Okay. Yeah. And the filters bring it down to about 2,000 billion bits of 2,000 bits of information per second. Okay. And that's what we become aware of consciously.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got 500 billion bits of information around us at any one time. We are only seeing 2,000 bits of information at any one time. We're experiencing 2,000 bits of information at any one time. Okay. The rest of it is being deleted and distorted and generalized by all of these filters in the reticular activation system. Am I making sense?
Yeah, that comes down to that true north. Is our mind distorts, generalizes, or deletes information? So how are we perceiving the world? And we not perceiving the world, we're perceiving it through a filter. So this is the real world that happens. It goes through a filter, and we shape it to fit whatever our paradigm is of the world. So how much of the world? How can 5 people watch the same accident and all 5 have a different explanation of what happened?
That's exactly what it is.
Really. Everyone had a picture around their head about an accident.
Yeah. Well, let me give you for instance. How many times have you gone to the fridge and opened the fridge looking for something and you can't find it? And you look and you look and you look and you look and no, you just can't find it. And then your girlfriend says to you, "What are you looking for?" And you say, "I'm looking for the tomato sauce." And she opens the fridge and goes, "Oh, there it is," and pulls it out. Hey, has that happened to you often? Yeah. Okay. So the point being is your brain filtered it out. You weren't consciously aware that the tomato sauce was sitting there right in front of you. Your brain literally just filtered it out. But your girlfriend didn't filter it out. She saw it immediately. And that's what our filters do. So becoming aware of our emotions is allowing us to become aware that there's something not right and we need to deal with it, because our subconscious mind wants us to deal with shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So it lets us know that there's something not quite right by giving us a negative emotion.
Yes.
What we need to do is we need to then say, okay, why am I feeling this negative emotion? Because you're feeling it because of those filters inside of your head. So I've got negative beliefs up there and I've got some of my culture that comes through and some of my language and my values in life, et cetera, et cetera. I got to look at those things to say, okay, need to change some of those so I can feel better. Cool. That's how it works.
So Andre,
I think that's the awareness part. Yeah.
So we could talk about this for quite a long time.
We could go on forever. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, if you've got some specific questions, go for it.
So I want to actually, Andre, you mentioned that you stayed in the UK, Spain, and you're now living in South Africa. And you've actually had several businesses in the e-commerce, digital marketing space in the UK. Curious to know, for the guys that's watching this show, what advice can you give these guys if they wanted to start an international business?
Are we talking e-commerce or are we talking just generally?
Generally, any business.
Well, let's
Okay.
do e-commerce because that's what our stuff is about.
Okay,
let's
do
go.
e-commerce.
Okay. So depending on what it is that you're selling, you've got to figure out how to get it there. So that's the first thing. Don't worry about selling it. You can sell it. Seriously, don't worry about selling it. That's piss easy. That's the easy part. It's how you're going to get the goods to your customer. Okay. And this is where it becomes a bit of an issue from South Africa to the States, the UK, or wherever you're going in the world, because of the fact that courier rates are extremely expensive.
Yeah.
However, thinking about that, the exchange rate is a hell of a lot better, naturally. Okay. So if you can't get the goods to wherever the end customer is at an affordable rate in a timely fashion, and I always say timely fashion because that is big. You've got to be quick. Amazon does same day delivery in the UK and the States and central hubs. And people expect next day delivery. If you order before 4 p.m., they expect the parcel to arrive the next morning. So there is big expectation for that. And they expect free shipping. Okay, so that's got to be built into your price. So that's kind of the start that you have to look at. And one of the things you could look at is some fulfillment centers like Fulfilled by Amazon. Yeah. Where if you've got some, you can just send your stock in containers, and Amazon takes it over and does your fulfillment for you. You just hook up with their systems, and any website sales goes directly to them, and they ship it and handle all of it. And if you manufacturing goods or in South Africa here, then that is the way to go. If you're importing stuff from China or importing stuff from elsewhere, you've got to be kind of careful on how you reach the international market. Do a lot of market research. Make sure that you're going to be able to make it on your pricing. And then once you know that you can fulfill your orders, okay, and your pricing is right, and you believe that you can sell your products at a decent margin, all right, then just go onto eBay. The first thing you do is list your products on eBay, and you'll get customers immediately. That's it. And then once you know how to deal with eBay, because eBay is real easy, okay, so once you know how to deal with eBay, then move over to Amazon. Sorry?
Okay.
Yeah, eBay is easy compared to Amazon. Yes, Amazon's got a heap of stuff.
Amazon, you've got to be a bit more clued up, and that's why I say do eBay first, because you get to know what it's like working with international clients or customers. Then move on to Amazon, get your stuff up on Amazon, and then get an e-commerce website.
And just a question for you, Andre. So it seems like when you use eBay as the starting point, do they actually have like services where you can do paid advertising on there? I know that on Amazon it's possible. Would you did you guys pursue paid advertising on these platforms? Or...
We never had to in those days. I'm talking way back when, the eBay days, 2015. Way back when it is, it's how many years? It's 8 years ago. Amazon or eBay didn't have paid advertising in those days. But my clients who use promotional, they promote your. It's not like paid advertising in Amazon. They promote your listings on eBay, and that's paid promotions.
Okay.
And my clients get good results. Yeah.
It's a few guys that get really good results on this stuff. Andre, I'd like to continue chatting all the way, but we're running a bit out of time. So just one or two last questions from my side. I actually have quite a few more on the other topic.
But, sure. No worries.
We'll have to go for a virtual coffee.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah. Where are you guys? Where are you based?
We're based in Centurion, so I'm in Centurion.
Oh, right, okay.
Pretoria.
Okay. Both of us in Pretoria.
Yeah, we travel around quite a bit, so we'll definitely plan a visit to come back down to your side.
Yeah.
And especially on the, for example, the energy side as well. One of the highest vibrations is peace, and that's what we all want to achieve. Is we want to get to a state of peace And I
Absolutely.
think we misconstrue that with freedom. We think buying a holiday and going overseas for 2 weeks a year is peace and freedom. And the other 50 weeks of the year, what are you doing then?
Yeah.
But it's actually emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional freedom gives us peace.
Yep.
I'd love to talk a bit more about that.
Hey, you got my number, you know. Give me a shout. Let's book a session.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
From
I
my
won't
side,
charge you, right?
just from a viewer's perspective, and a tip for the viewers, if they want to get into business coaching, what is the benefits of business coaching, and what should they look out for to get a decent business coach?
Okay, so every business person who wants to be successful needs a business coach.
Yep.
And I hate to make that generalization. It's a huge generalization. However, if you want to make it, and you want to make it properly, and you want to make it quickly, and you don't want to go through all the lessons that everybody else has gone through to try and get to that point, just get a business coach. Okay.
Yeah.
Then find somebody who you feel good about. Okay. Don't worry too much about their experience, about, you know, what they've done for other company. Find somebody who resonates with you. Okay. And who can buy into your vision and buy into your idea and gets excited about where you want to take your business. Because that's the kind of person you need to be on your side and to coach you and to help you. That's my advice. You know, there are a lot of business people out there who will say, no, I don't want anybody on the emotional level. They must just tell me that, you know, I need to spend an extra, you know, $100,000 a month on advertising and my business will be successful. That's not a coach. You know, that's not a coach. And if you're coachable, get somebody who can coach you, that will be in your corner and will fight the good fight with you.
It's a difficult thing. Who else you talk to about a lot of this stuff? You stand around, you're fine, your body's going to tell you, wait, I'll tell you how to do it. Robert Kiyosaki just mentioned in his book where he spent hours and hours with this guy showing him the best real estate, and they eventually found a deal. And the guy came back the next day and he said, no, my neighbor told me it's a bad idea to buy that house. I'm not going to buy the house. Okay, so maybe a real estate investor. No, he's not. Okay, does he invest in it, or is he a coach, or what is he? No, it's just my neighbor. Okay, this is what I do, and you take his advice. But yeah, Andre, so the last part of our business show each week is a hot seat section.
Yes,
and this is the fun
part. I'm looking forward to that. It sounds fun.
So we've got 4 questions where we're just going to go into it, and there's no explanation needed. We're not going to ask questions about it, just the first thing that comes to mind.
Cool.
So my first question is, if someone had to write a book about your life, what would it be called?
The Life and Times of Andre Kruger.
Very cool. Go for it, Bill.
Cool. So, first country that you will visit after this lockdown nonsense stops?
Fiji.
Wow.
Fiji. Yes, that's
Do you dive?
No.
I think you should learn how to dive, because it's quite a nice dive spot.
We're gonna maybe buy a resort out there and or buy an island, you know, with a resort on it already. So we haven't quite decided, but it's part of the plan.
Good.
So
as long as
we
we're
need to go visit now because we've never been there.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different than going on a club meet to Phuket.
Yeah. My wife and I both sail, and we've sailed, you know, in the Greek Isles and the Caribbean and all around. So
when you sail cats?
No, I've only ever sailed one cat, and that was in the Seychelles, and it was like I hated it. I didn't enjoy it. So I always sailed monohulls.
Okay.
And so there's some nice sailing around there, and it's in the Fiji. And you know, it's got good, nice islands and good people and beautiful weather, and it's inexpensive. And yeah, I
got my kids into sailing now, so we're sailing cats, OB14s, OB16s, etc.
Okay,
so we go down to the Vaal and we sail the OBs. Very cool.
Yeah, those are fun. Those are fun, you
Mm.
know. But when you're talking about a 60-foot, cat, you start turning the wheel now, and like 14 nautical miles later, it starts turning.
Actually,
Okay,
oh,
not
wow.
a bit over exaggerated, but anyway, yeah,
And
it's good fun.
my next question for the hot
Yes.
seat. So, what's the worst advice you've ever given a business owner?
You see, I don't concentrate on that kind of stuff. I learn the lesson and I move on. So it might take me a while to think about that.
Well, that's our answer, is you don't concentrate on it, which I totally agree.
Yeah.
Whatever you focus on gets babies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Don't concentrate on stuff.
Ask me
that
another
you want to do.
question, because I don't want to go there.
Best advice you've ever business advice you've received.
Best
Business
business
advice you've ever received.
From my mother when I was very young. She said, you can be whatever you want to be. You can be a postman if you want to be. Just be the best postman you can ever be.
Yes, that's a cool saying.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And my last question on the hot seat is, what's one thing that's still on your bucket list?
You see, I already have it all. So yeah, they're things that I want. There's things that I want, but it's already out there. I just haven't materialized it yet.
Yeah.
So I don't have a bucket list. I've got goals and I've got those kind of things, but there's, it's just manifesting it now. So what bucket list? A jacuzzi. We don't have a jacuzzi yet. I want a jacuzzi.
Most people have dreams. Entrepreneurs just have goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry. Next one.
Yeah. So Andre, you've been all over the world and stuff like that. Who's one person which you think we should interview on this business show?
Anybody in the world. Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Oh, did they have to be alive?
Yeah,
they have to be alive. We actually want to.
It's difficult to interview a dude.
We
want to interview the person.
Okay. Who should you interview? And it's got to be alive. Entrepreneurs, successful. Tony Robbins.
Good.
Well, you've got a challenge.
I've got a challenge. I found Robin before, so let's see if we can make Tony happen. Yeah.
I don't know if I've got his number, but I think it's in my phone. I'll forward it to you, right?
That would be great.
Sure.
Just the last thing for people who do want to get in touch with you, or if they want to book a session, where can they reach you? Where can they book a session if they want to book a paid coaching session with you?
Cool. They can go to my Facebook page. Just search for andrekruger.com. Or go to my website, andrekruger.com, or email me, andre@andrekruger.com. My name's Andre Kruger, by the way. And if you want to get hold of me, I've got some booking page on my site. You can go through that, and if you like what you read, and then get hold of me. Yeah. And thank you for here's something. So thank you for allowing me to create you to come to my site and book a session with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my intention. I've just said it and I've put it out there.
Yeah. Everyone thinks that's what's going to come into your world. Definitely. Yeah. It's something that I've noticed more and more. The more I learn about it and the more I apply it and the more I walk through the waterfall, just this amazing things happen without, it feels effortless. It feels like we don't have to put effort into it. Things just happen on the thing. But guys, we've got a few special.
We call it flow. Being in flow, yeah? Being in flow.
Being in flow.
Flow stuff just happens. Definitely.
Yeah. So,
privilege to have you on the show. Really, really.
Thank you so
cool.
much. Thanks, James. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Andre, for taking time to coming to chat to everyone that's watching the show. So we're going to be launching Bootcamp version 201.
Version 2.2.
2.0 in the next couple of weeks. So watch out on our channel. We're going to start sharing some more information in terms of that. But yeah, Andre, thanks so much for joining the show. And yeah, we'll have a catch up soon.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, give me a shout sometime. Hey, and book some time with me. We'll talk a bit deeper.
Yeah.
All right.
Lacquer, guys, and
stuff and those sort of things. And we actually have the 28-day manifestation, or what's it, 28-day with Deepak Chopra, with the affirmations and the meditations and setting a intention. The whole abundance things. So, yes, I love that stuff, and I can see the results of it. I can see the effect of it. But thanks, Andre.
Thank you, guys.
And
live,
then
with purpose, and live on purpose. Live with intention.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much, and
thanks for the viewers.
Bye.
Thanks for the viewers.
Thanks, Andre. And yeah, what a cool show, guys. So if you have any questions, just pop it in the comments, and myself and Willie will get back to you. And then from our mastermind viewers, everyone that's part of our mastermind, we'll chat to you after the show. And hope, yeah, this was cool. I really enjoyed this. This is my alley. And we'll comment on that. And then thanks to all our viewers, all the guys that's not part of our mastermind, for just supporting us on Facebook and YouTube. We're doing this for you guys. So just reach up every week. Really appreciate it. Thanks for support.
So like it, share it.
Yeah,
give it to someone else. Share it to guys who's struggling with business, and yeah, let's grow the community. So yeah, Gene, thanks for another show. See you next week.
Business show. Cheers.